astonishing time to be alive. 2016, oh my God. Wasn't it Y2K just like 2 years ago? There are a lot of things that weigh on our minds in this century. PIN numbers. Oh my God. There are too many, and they all want a different kind of PIN number. I'm complaining here, but allow me. They want a capital letter, they want a number, they want a special symbol. They want at least 8 letters. I had a really hard time remembering how many different ones that they wanted. So I got an app for PIN numbers. I forgot the PIN number for the PIN number. I had to buy the whole thing all over again. How many phone numbers and area codes? You know, everything is now on the phone. If I lost my phone, I couldn't call my dad because I don't know his number. He has a new number. It's not that I don't love my dad. Didn't want to remember his number. But there are so many numbers. There are so many things that we have to remember today. How many bank accounts, store, credit card accounts do we have that we have to make a copy of everything to make sure it's all put away there? How secure are we with our financial security? After 2008, a lot of us went, oh my God. A lot of people lost a lot of investments then. And we're still recovering a lot of things. How safe do we feel today? We watch TV and say, you know, it's scary. The first time I lived in New York for a long time. The first time a couple of years ago, a few years ago, I came out of the subway. There were 12 cops with semi-automatic rifles. It made my heart beat fast because I'd never seen that before. Before I left, I saw the same number and it didn't really phase me. We get used to it. Shootings, terrorism, Zika. There's so much. I remember one a couple of years ago, on the 4th of July, they said, take precautions. How? Tell me how and I will. They said, well, keep your eye out for anything suspicious. I live in New York. I'm suspicious. I was walking down the street in Chelsea one day, and this 6'5" tall guy, and he was just as wide, was coming across the street toward me. I went, that's a really interesting looking child of God. He had a leather coat, he had a beard down to here, he had a ponytail, he had this thing on, and he had all these, I mean, he was a sight to behold. And he looked at me and he went, ah, unity! In the middle of the street, he gave me a big hug, picked me up off the ground, put me down, and he went on his way. I had no idea who this person was. Never saw him again, never saw him before. It's very strange being in a town like New York where people know you. You're sitting in the spa, in the sauna, and they go, that was a great talk the other day. Well, thank you very much. I was having dinner with a friend on Cape Cod, and somebody next to me turned to me and said, have you ever heard of PaulT? I went, I have. You look just like him. I am just like him. Said, oh my God, you're wonderful. We come over. It's fascinating to be admired of celebrity in this wonderful little world of new thought that we have. So if you see me on the street, please don't yell at me. A lot of people come up and say, that talk about puppies and rainbows just changed my life. And I hadn't mentioned puppies or rainbows. Sometimes you all have your own talk going on in your head. I'm talking by myself, and you're creating a talk that is wonderful. And I'm glad, but it's very interesting to see what we all come up with in this way. So life changes all the time. I had a big change from New York to here. It's a lot slower here. Which is really good, because I needed to breathe. I couldn't breathe in New York very well. Well, not only with the cars and everything, but it goes very fast in New York. And I was looking for a way of getting myself together, and Spirit brought you and I together. It's really a wonderful way. But it's not always easy. I don't have any air conditioning. God, what am I doing here? And God says, just relax with the family. Okay. So, no matter how wonderful the change may be, sometimes we're going to go through a change that we have to keep breathing through, no matter how wonderful it is. But that's what life is about. Life is change, whether we like it or not. It's always going to change. There's no getting away from change as long as we are on the planet. It's going to happen. With all this activity and change constantly going on, how do we then maintain our peace, our health, our sanity, our spiritual centeredness in the way that we need it to keep working, even though water things are breaking and other things are happening and people are changing on you? We do it by knowing that change is going to happen, but we're not at the mercy of that change. It's happening for our good, and that we go with it. We can use it for our advantage and let it bring the good that we've been looking for in our lives. And if the change is going to reveal a new facet, a new way of living, a new understanding of who I am and what my life is about. We have to begin with the understanding that things are going to change. It is a universal law. Our lives change because we are going toward a fuller, more expanding spiritual perfection. You came to this planet to grow. We often don't like it. Some people absolutely hate any change, and other people embrace it. I was talking with Stella the other day. She says, I love change. Like, don't say that too loud. Around who you know. You may get, prayer your way. But change can be very exciting, or it can be very unnerving at the same time. There's a wonderful old silent music affirmation that I fell in love with when I worked at the telephone prayer. And I use it a lot in my life. I'm in my right place, going to my true place. I'm in my right place. Everything right now is right and perfect, depending on my consciousness where I am. And I'm moving into a new expanded awareness of my good. I'm in my right place, going to my true place. Affirm that with me. I'm in my right place, going to my true place. Some of you refuse to say that. I am not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. I'm not changing. I like the teacher I worked with. Had an affirmation. He said, God, hit me with your best shot. I moved 5 feet away from you. You're his best shot. There was a wonderful letter sent out by the Greenville County Department of Social Services in South Carolina to a Mr. Philip Fleming. I'm reading this verbatim. I'm not changing a word. Dear Mr. Fleming, your food stamps will be stopped effective in March because we've received notice that you passed away. May God bless you. Here's the best part. You may reapply if there is a change in your circumstances. Best regards, Department of Social Services. Now, as dumb as that letter is, there's a great truth revealed here. If your circumstances don't change, you're already dead. If you don't change, you've already spiritually, emotionally, metaphysically have died. Our lives are, as I mentioned, always going to be changing. If our cells in our body don't change, if our cells don't die, we will die. Because the cells have to die off for new cells to be born. If we haven't changed our wardrobe since 1973, we will either be laughed at, or we live in Portland. I know a comedian, she said, you can always tell the last good year somebody had by their hairstyle. Isn't that true? Like they just, that's it, I'm not changing. Thinking of hair, even mundane things like shampoo, if you don't change them out once in a while, they quit working. They don't clean as effectively until you change it. Now, some things are fairly easy to change, like getting a nice, comfortable bed, or a nicer apartment, a nicer girlfriend, or a nicer boyfriend. Those are the easier things to change. But even then, it's not always as simple as it seems, right? You don't want the person that you broke up with to be with anybody else. It's insane. No, I can change, but you can't make a change that doesn't involve my house. Why are you dating that person? Well, because we don't know what I forbid it. We've been apart for 5 years. You can't forbid anything. But we want to make sure that that is not going to change. When I moved into my new apartment in New York, I was so happy it had an elevator. It had 24-hour doormen. It was 90 steps to Central Park, exactly. Now, my other apartment was a 5th floor walk-up, made of marble and steel. It was the hardest 5 floors in the world. I had great legs, though. The workout I had going. If I forgot a book when I was going to work, I would just go to Barnes & Noble and buy another book. I was not going to go back upstairs. If I forgot to walk the dog, I wouldn't walk another dog. I had 5 dogs. So it wasn't easy to move from that apartment, even though the other one was so much nicer, so much bigger, and so much better. I was still having trepidation about the change. What if it doesn't work? What if I don't like my neighbors? What if? We do the what if way too much, and we stop the good from flowing. We stop the joy from flowing away. Charles Silver, Unity's co-founder, wrote, all changes for good or ill are changes of the mind. They change in here, the mind and the heart connection. All change comes from within. If we want a better life, if we want more good, if we want better health, if we want our relationships to work, I have to change first. Change is not thrust upon us, but as a result of a new idea, a new concept, a new way of perceiving life, a new energy looking for expression from within to do without. You know, a new minister is always going to bring change no matter what. That's scary. Bring a new person and, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Now, right now, the past couple of months, I've been here for 2 months, I've only been cleaning. Oh my gosh. Where's the picture? Where's the chair? Where's the sofa? Where did that go? Oh my God, what's going to happen to Unity of Bellevue? It's going to be clean. You may see these gray bins around where these are recycling bins from paper left for 20 years in our file. I've had a fascinating read in my own files from all the ministers who have been here and all the correspondence that's gone on. It's like as the world turns. So what I'm looking to do is release what doesn't belong here anymore. That's all. Don't freak out. Freak out in a few minutes when I talk about something else. But new leadership, when you have a new consciousness coming into a place, it's going to change. It's going to shift things a little bit. The great teacher Jesus said, fear not, it's your Father's great pleasure to give you everything. We don't get that. Today, in 2016, we don't quite get that, what he was saying. He was saying this to the Jewish people of his time, who were being killed left and right every day. The centurions, the Romans were killing somebody even from looking at them wrong. They were petrified of living daily. And here is this itinerant rabbi saying, don't be afraid. God's at work. God's got this. Center yourself to the truth of spirit and you'll be fine. Whatever it is that you need, whatever you desire more than anything in the world, whatever major change you're going through, at the moment, God is there with you, within you, moving through you to reveal what you need to do so that it works in the best possible way. You can't fail with God at work. You simply can't. So why would we be afraid? In Course in Miracles, it said, if you only knew who walked beside you daily, how you would never be afraid again. The unity way of saying that is, if we only knew the power we have inside of us, we'd let it go. And be absolutely fine that divine order is perfectly at work. We become afraid when we look outside of ourselves this place within where spirit is. We look outside of ourselves and we see only duality. We see a binary world where I'm here, you're there, you have more power than I. Therefore, you know more than I, and I should listen to you because obviously you seem to be successful. That couldn't be further from the truth. We only find God's direction for our lives when we go within and listen to what the Spirit individually, uniquely has for us. The good news is whatever we need to move forward during this life change is already here. There's no need to freak out about it at all. You've got all you need to survive any change within you. It was installed in you before you got here, if you will. Like your computer. You already had Microsoft Office. Oh, I don't need to go get it. I got it right here. We may be guided from within then to go to someone, someplace, some situation that will help us to acquire the good that we've been looking for, but we only get that within first. But how can we explain, here's the question I get a lot, how can we explain that it seems like an awful lot of people are successful who don't come to you? Or even go to a spiritual center or have a spiritual life or do any of this work. If we look at the Bill Gates, the Warren Buffett, the Rockefellers, and the really incredibly successful and prosperous people today, we don't assume that they've gone into prayer, that they're meditating, that they're reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, or Catherine Ponder's one of the spiritual prosperity books. That they're not doing any spiritual work at all, and that's where we would be mistaken. Too often we think that prayer is a formal petition to God somewhere out there, and that we have to keep that until God is convinced that what we're saying is absolutely right and true, and God will go, there you go. But in our metaphysical understanding as to the nature of spirit, created spirit, we see that every thought, every word, every feeling that we have, every action that we take is literally a prayer. You're a creation of spirit, therefore everything that you do, everything you're holding, everything that you are is a walking, moving prayer. That's how powerful you are. Successful people make their thoughts, their feelings, their actions, and their words align together with what they want in life. From this perspective, I ask you, what have you been praying all day, every day? What are you thinking? What words do you use with other people about your life, about your relationships, about your work, about your money? People who are successful do this intuitively. They do it naturally. Everything aligns with each other, and God help anybody who gets in the way of that happening. So what we have been praying has been, nothing in my life works. I'm surrounded at work by idiots. Here's a wonderful affirmation, isn't it? The world is against me. I live in a dangerous world. I never get a break. The economy is horrible, and I'll never find a good job again. We're powerful enough to make this a reality. I work with a lot of actors in New York who keep saying, there's no work, there's no work, there's no work, there's no work, there's no work. There's no work for them, but somebody's on Broadway, somebody's off Broadway, somebody's doing this work. But it's not them because they keep affirming it's not the truth. I finally got this one woman, stop saying that, affirm that your good is yours, that your role as yours can't be taken away from you. She tried it one day, she got 5 callbacks. Before that, she would have given up and not even have attended. She went to 5 callbacks, and she got a role in the original cast of The Color Purple with Oprah Winfrey. She said, oh, this works. It does. If we're willing to stay the course and know that if God within me is doing the work, then nothing can stop me from having it. If this is not my role, then I'm just here to perform for 5 people, to enjoy myself and to share my truth, my talent. And therefore, I create new opportunities for my good to express in my life. Does anybody here really think that Bill Gates got to where he is in life by affirming, gee, I never get a break? No, you can't even imagine Bill Gates saying anything like that. It's not a possibility. Now, it might have been earlier in his life, but then he came to himself and went, what am I saying? This is not the truth of who I am. Bill Gates and others have created an incredible prosperity consciousness right here in this area. The guy lives down the street from us, essentially. something. And more and more and more are coming here. Now, it's a question of whether or not we can drive anymore with all this wonderful opulence and abundance, but that's another issue for another day. So, but we know that we are in a spiritual vortex here of success. Are you willing to say, yes, I agree to it, and I now put myself into that wonderful energy, and I accept and build on what these wonderful people are sharing here? It's right here. All you have to do is agree with it. These wonderful, successful people are using their imaging faculty to envision what their lives will be like, to see what this business can be and how they're going to serve other people. Imagining what exactly their lives look like as they're doing it. What they do is they go to their intuitive feeling center in their hearts, and they listen to what their heart is telling them, what they have to do, and then the mind picture is right there. Another way of saying listening to God is go with your gut. It's the same thing. This is where Spirit is talking to us right here. We keep expecting to hear God like a bad MGM musical. Unless we hear that real amazing dramatic thing, we don't think it's really Spirit. Angels singing with booming male voice saying, here's what I want you to do, my child. That's not God. That's Charlton Heston. No, God speaks quietly, a still small voice within. We have to get quiet and listen carefully sometimes, because we're giving our voice over to others outside of ourselves. So we have to listen to our gut, our intuitive hits, to really get what it is that we're here for. Trust these hits. They're absolutely real. They're the only things that are real, actually. Successful people also take action on what they hear, and they move forward. They don't wait. They keep going somehow. They don't argue with the gut reaction. They go, they take action. Unsuccessful people say, I have a great idea, but I can't do anything about it because nobody will give me the money. You ever have a great idea and 5, 10 years later you see an infomercial for the same thing that you were thinking about? That was my idea. Well, the universe will not let you keep it and will move it on to somebody else if you're not going to do anything with it. That's the way the universe works. Like, here's something. Oh, I wish I could do something with it. Okay, we're going to give it to somebody else. And move it forward. Successful people also continue to speak words of success with joy, with passion, and with gratitude. Of achieving definite results they want to see. They have goals. They keep meeting and moving on from there. Positive, powerful affirmations that they cannot fail to achieve what they're going for. That's just impossible. It's going to happen. And they know that there are seeming setbacks along the way. There are always going to be some kind of setbacks on the way. Big deal. Big deal. Get over it. Edison, hundreds and hundreds of times, did not invent the light bulb. Didn't work. Finally, one day he said, oh, there it is. He didn't give up. He didn't lose faith. He knew it was a possibility, but he kept going and going year after year. It's just temporary. Failure is not a permanent condition for creation spirit. What failure is a message of redirection. Here's a new direction I need to go in. Oh, great, thanks. Got it. Liz Claiborne was a designer with the Jonathan Logan Company. Her intuitive understanding of what made the fashion industry succeed revealed to her that the company she was with was too limited in their variety of sizes and patterns. They were not going to be competitive, she told them, unless you expand your line of goods. So she brought her concerns over and over again to those in charge, and basically they finally told her one day, thank you for sharing, but we know what we're doing. Please go back to work and mind your own business. So she had a choice, stay with the company and watch it fail, or make the change for the better and begin my own company. She followed her heart, always the primary key to her success in life. And she began a clothing company that became #1 in women's fashion. Because she knew in her heart and her gut what needed to happen. A professor at Harvard Business School once said, those who succeed and flourish will also be masters of change. Adept at reorienting their own and others' activities in untried directions to bring about higher levels of achievement. They will be able to acquire and use power to produce innovation. I would amend that a little bit. They will be able to acquire and use divine power from spirit within to produce a divine idea, divine innovation. Because it's all a God idea. All of it. Liz Claiborne tapped into that power inside of her, no matter what you call it. That revealed, you know what you do and go do it. Lyricist Dorothy Field said that in creating the musical Annie Get Your Gun, that the idea for the show just fell out of her completely. It was right there for her to see. She said that had never happened before. The only time I ever had an idea directly from God was Annie Get Your Gun. Now, every idea comes from Spirit, just doesn't seem like. Sometimes the birthing process can be a really long process, as we know. This one happened to be quick, and she got it. But it felt dramatic, so it seemed like it came from God, but all the good that we have comes from the universe. All the ideas that we receive for health, for success, for happiness, for prosperity, for our creativity, comes from within, comes from this wonderful energy of the divine. In her book, The Trust in the Goodness of God, Unity author Mary Kupferle wrote, as a child of God, you are a child of change. You are a spiritual being continually becoming more and more aware of your innate divinity, wholeness, value, ability, and creativity. You may like some of the changes happening in your life and feel happy about them. Other changes may bring on feelings of rebellion, uncertainty, fear. Because of these changes, you may think that you strayed off the path of your good. Yet you can be assured that you are never outside the encircling love of God's care and guidance. Sometimes people come to me, or often people come to me with the challenges that they have in life. This is the work that I do. They come to me and say, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with a health problem? I just went to the doctor and I heard this news, or a financial crisis, or a loved one who was passed on or moved away. I've discovered that the majority of the pain that is felt when changes seem to be thrust upon us is the pain of fighting the change that's going on. It's in holding on to it and not wanting to change and not letting it happen that brings the suffering. Yeah, there's going to be pain and change. That's part of the birthing process that we go through. But holding on to something is what brings suffering and brings that extreme pain that we're talking about. When we resist anything, we find ourselves struggling and fighting it, kicking against it, pushing so hard against it to not have it happen that we create enormous pain and agony in our lives. For example, when Eric Butterworth once said to me, our job as ministers is to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the comforted. So in this wonderful ministerial role, I now afflict you a little bit. As you have found out about me in the interview process, I found out about you too. The looks are like, oh my God. I called other ministers who had been here. It's like they had all been a minister at different churches. They had different perspectives on what happens here. And the one thing they all told me, this is hysterical. There's only one thing they all told me. They said, don't bring up the pews. What? So then they shared with me about the pews. It's like Niagara Falls. Don't say Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn. Apparently there are some people here in love with the pews. These wonderfully old, creaky, uncomfortable, hard, divine seats. And the word that we're not supposed to use here is chairs. Chairs. And Unity of Bellevue. Well, you know, being a minister, most of my energy is going to the middle here where nobody's sitting. I'm talking to imaginary people right there. Then I have to sit over here and I talk to them. So it's a little awkward to have these really set things here. If your spiritual life, and I understand there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of talk about getting chairs in here rather than pews. So here's what I offer you as a meditation. If you're really bent out of shape, about the idea of having chairs here instead of your beloved pews. Perhaps your spiritual life is centered on your butt and not your heart. Go with it and ask him, where's the center of my spiritual life? We shall continue the conversation. I do want to share with you the history of the pews. The pews only began to be used in churches in the 1500s during the Reformation. And that was because before that, you would all stand. Really, all the church service was singing and prayer. And then you left. And then Martin Luther came along and said, I think I'll do a long sermon. And the wealthy people said, if you're going to do that, we need a place to sit. There was only one pew in the very back, and that was for the aged and the infirm. Everybody else stood, they put a pillow on the floor, they lay down, they had a blanket. It was a family kind of situation. Well, the wealthy people decided, I'm going to buy a pew. They brought it in, they put a wall around it, they put a walk on it. So only the wealthy people got to sit in church. And that built resentment from the other people who were leaning against the wall. Or their backs were hurting because they had to stand and look at the people in the pew who were watching the people give the sermon. So they decided to have only pews in the church. What happened was, they determined, they found that with the pews they couldn't do anything else. They couldn't have time of family in the sanctuary because the pews were in the way of them getting together with their family in a little group or sitting on the floor and praying with each other. So more and more we became stuck with the energy of pews. Now, if this was 1957, we could be having a really interesting conversation. But this is 2016, so we are going to be meditating on the idea of changing this, opening this all up, to have a very holy family room that we can readjust to any way that we want. Breathe. And let go. Breathe it in and let go. The truth is God's work, no matter what. The truth is every year brings new change, whether we like it or not. The truth is we are changing because if not, we would die. That's the truth of Spirit, that's the truth of you. We are here to change, to become the most perfect, wonderful being of God that we can possibly ever be. So I'd like you to take a breath again and close your eyes. Breathe in again and let go. Whatever changes have happened in your spiritual life, in your spiritual center, it doesn't matter because you always have unity. You have unity about you. You have God within you. There's one power, one presence actively at work in the universe, in my life, in my spiritual center, in my work, in my relationship, in my health. God. That's the only thing we have to remember. God is here. And I bless and welcome change that makes my life easier, better, healthier, more prosperous, and more loving. Listen to your heart. The still small voice of God that in his fear Elijah ran from to the mountain. Afraid that Jezebel was going to kill him. He kept running and running and running, and finally he stopped. And he heard, it isn't outside of myself, it's not in the earthquake, it's not in the wind, it is not anywhere but here within. God is a still small voice revealing, you are my powerful, wonderful, creative creation. The power to change your life for the better is always at work. Always here. The question is, what will I do with it? Will I avoid it? Ignore it and be in pain? Or breathe through it as the birth of new good comes forth? Today I let go and let God be God in me right now. There are changes going on in our bodies, and they will as we get older. That's inevitable. But we bless it. And we know that we are powerful, healthy, whole, perfect, complete, just as we are. There's a change to be made. We listen to our hearts and we move forward. With exercise, diet, whatever Spirit is revealing is our next step. We quietly affirm this truth in our hearts. I am healthy and whole. I am healthy and whole. As we hold that truth, other ideas may come up. Don't fight it, simply let it go through. Let it be. We go back to the truth. I am healthy and whole. We live in a universe of abundant good. We look around and we see trees and flowers and the abundance of water. Everything we need is right here. Lack and limitation come from an incorrect idea that we may have been holding, speaking of, believing. Today, no matter my circumstances in life or with my career, I let that go and know that I am abundantly blessed. Simply hold that truth. I am abundantly blessed. Period. And we let divine love and wisdom bring forth how that will come into our lives. I am abundantly blessed. Love, peace, joy, freedom from addiction, perfect guidance. All here, right now. Waiting for us to agree with it, to let it flow forth, and to move forward with our guidance as to how this will happen for each one of us. In the quiet of our being, we let Spirit reveal the truth. In the silence, a quiet, still voice can be heard. Listen.